All right, I'm in the MMA Disputed Interview Lounge with one of the co-owners of SIlverstar Clothing, Charis Burrett. How you doing, Charis?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. So, a lot has been said about the Tap Out company being sold to the Authentic Brands Group LLC, and not many people have mentioned about your company being picked up by that company as well to be combined. So, can you walk us through what all occurred during that time frame? I think it was about a month ago when the sale was given to the public and news was running rampant that everybody was selling out, etc., etc. So can you throw us some information about what is going on with SIlverstar and how that's going to develop once the transfer is completed?
Sure. Actually, SIlverstar was purchased through ABG first before Tap Out. And, we were the first one on their radar in the MMA space. And it's been a fantastic thing. As some people know and some people don't, Luke and I have been the sole owners of SIlverstar ever since it started. We've never had investors, partners, anything like that. And we've had many offers through the years to have partners, investors, money to come in to help us grow, and we've turned it down many a time. It's just the right timing right now with the right company to have made that move. Luke and I have always seen SIlverstar potential being, huge. But with what we have on our own to offer the company with money, and it kept things really tight with what we could produce and how many more categories of things that we could produce and make. And so, with everybody asking us, when are you going to make this? And when are you guys going to do that? It was, everything, all the planets kind of aligned with the timing, the right company, to go ahead and sell a major portion. We didn't sell all of it, but we sold a major portion of it. And now that will allow us to have more categories, to be able to make more products, to be able to give the public, more of what they want. So for us, it's been obviously something new for us because we've never had partners. We've never had, anybody come in. But at the same time, it's really, really, an exciting time for us right now with all of the possibilities for us in the future.
And regarding the shirts now, there's a lot of rumors going around that SIlverstar and Tap Out won't be sponsoring any fighters for a couple months until this transfer of the sale is completed. Can you talk a bit about that, and what are the plans for the future for fighters if they want to be sponsored?
No, that's not the case. I mean, obviously, when a major transfer happens, a lot of times everybody has to kind of stop for a second and take a breather. I mean, I think that the industry with all the different sponsors out there competing for, not a lot of champion fighters, competing all of those, all the money that they were making, everything that was going into sponsoring a fighter got very competitive between the brands, the sponsors, and the kind of so-called real estate on an actual fighter. So I think everybody's kind of steps back and reevaluating, what is important, how it works for best for the fighter, how it works best for the UFC, how it works best for the brands that are in the octagon and future brands in the octagon. We are definitely still sponsoring all of our fighters. We have Diego and Matt Hamill are fighting, this weekend, and we haven't stopped or slowed down whatsoever. So obviously there might be some things that seem like a few changes or that you haven't heard from us or this or that or the other, but nothing's changed. It's status quo. Everything's the same. Still completely supporting all of our fighters the same way that SIlverstar always has. Luke and I are still at the forefront of the company, doing everything that we were doing before. So, I think when people hear about something big happening, they're really, hypersensitive to looking for the things that are different or changing. But in all actuality, things really still are staying the same.
Gotcha. So all the merchandise that you guys made before this big sale will still be available on your website, other websites that sell the MMA merchandise?
Yes, they will.
Okay, another thing is now, what are you and your Luke's titles now with SIlverstar since the transfer?
We're each co-founders of SIlverstar. Luke is the president of branding and president of of SIlverstar, not obviously AVG or any of their other entities, but of SIlverstar. And I am a co-founder and brand manager.
Gotcha. So none of the designs, we'll still see the same SIlverstar designs that we've always accustomed to since the last almost 15 years, I believe. So since you guys 19. So that's
19 years.
That's been a long time. So we won't see any different changes in terms of the designers. You still have the same designers for the shirts and other merchandise you're putting out.
I think that it is. It's not going to change at all in terms of the style, the foundation of what SIlverstar always has been. That will be the same. My title as brand manager is every item that anyone makes of SIlverstar product has to be okayed by me. So, the authenticity and the culture and the vibe and the foundation of what SIlverstar is, considering that goes through me, will never change. Yes, we have the same artists times 10 now. We have, and we'll have so many more artists and people and all involved with designing SIlverstar and all of the different products that we're making. Because now we're going to be making probably, I can't even tell you the number of products that we'll be adding to our line. So obviously with adding so many different products and things come more designers and more people involved.
Gotcha. In terms of Luke now, I know I saw an article on one of the websites a couple weeks ago. He'll be helping out Tap Out as well. What is he going to be doing for Tap Out? Because I know you guys are basically one identity now, and how do you feel about that being competitive after all these years?
No. I mean, he's not. Maybe that was misconstrued. He's not helping Tap Out. We are owned by the same company. Mm-hmm. We are, now sitting in on meetings, all of us together with Dan and Scrape. But the two companies are completely, still going to be going at it. Still, mm-hmm. they have their style, we have our style. We're not sharing. We're not sharing anything. So, it's like I said before, it's status quo, things as usual. So, in terms of, some behind the scenes marketing strategies and different things like that, we might sit in on meetings together. But in terms of who we are and getting crafty with ideas and things that we want to do that separate SIlverstar from the pack and keep our loyal fans that are really down for SIlverstar and Tap Out, who has their fans that are down for Tap Out. That's still going to be separated and segregated, and we're not letting our secrets out of the bag to anybody, no matter what's going on. So I think that stays the same.
Which is good for you guys because you've been doing your thing, like you said, and Tap Out's still doing their thing. So it's basically one owner, but you guys still doing your own separate ideas and still going at each other in terms of making your products better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, people get into picking their teams. It's like being into football or hockey or whatever. I mean, you have your favorite, fighters, you have your favorite T-shirts, you have your favorite team, you have your favorite owners of companies, and out in the public eye, it's a battle, and people enjoy that. It's people enjoy having a bit of a competitive nature, and that will always stay the same. So.
Gotcha. In terms of, you guys don't only do MMA fights, you also do baseball players like Shane Victorino, Ricky G, Bruce Buffer. None of those will be affected by the sale as well?
No, actually, SIlverstar is going to continue to grow in all of the action sports arenas that SIlverstar has always been known as and being involved in. We just got back from Dew Tour, which was last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Vegas, the end of the run of Dew Tour. We have our skateboarder Fabricio Santos and Christian Strecka that skated in that. We've always been an action sports brand. We've sponsored a few fighters, back in the day. 8, 9 years ago when Chemo was fighting. Chemo was all down for SIlverstar and wore SIlverstar into the octagon. We've always been huge fans of MMA and UFC, but really have only been heavy into the space, as most people know, for the past 2 years. So our roots are really firmly planted in action sports and skateboarding and wakeboarding and moto and all of those action sports. So we're still looking to continue to grow into those, and even snowboarding. We're really never been into snowboarding, but we're moving into that category as well.
Awesome. Well, Charis, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come aboard with me to talk about the SIlverstar company and explaining more facts than rumors that have been going around, and finally letting others know what's going to happen with SIlverstar.
Oh, well, thank you for wanting to know.
Well, a lot of people have been asking, so I thought I'd just go straight to the source instead of hearsay, and you're probably one of the best sources, or the best, for the company.
Thank you very much, Ted. I appreciate it.